My name is Jared Capello, and my story with God, I was born and raised in a fundamentalist evangelical cult. I left when I was 21 years old, and during that time there, I had some experiences just traveling the world where I was just kind of me and God, and that's where I really was able to build a solid relationship with God, even though at that time I had the idea of punitive justice and some angry father stuff, but worked through that since, which has been absolutely beautiful. In 2000 and right around 2005, 2006, I met some people, became part of a house church family that allowed me to really get in touch with the Father's heart for me, and I just kind of realized how relational God was. I was like, this is what it's all about, right? So through that, I found that God loved me, right? And I'd always sort of found myself in a helping role with other people, with friends, underclassmen, just sort of having advice for them. So I was studying biblical counseling at the time online. When I had traveled overseas on this, I felt like God was calling me over to Romania, so I was over there. I went to a Hillsong conference in London, and I found out about this coaching thing. God just kept highlighting it for me. So I looked into coaching. I realized it was all about empowering people, rather than sort of sitting with them and their stuff. It's more about empowering them to be. But be who was what I realized as God was showing me my identity. It's about empowering people to be who He called them to be, who He's made them to be, who they've always been. And so that just lit me up, because I just started, after I got certified 15 years ago, I was like, this is what it's all about. Like, I'm just going to empower people to be who they really are. And through the Holy Spirit and different ways that God was able to use me and speak to me in that, I was actually able to empower people in that. So one thing I can say about personal growth for myself is, since leaving that cult, that was like 20 years ago now, which is crazy. But I was kind of always been like, God, I know you're real. What are you all about? And in that, like, just feel free to, any erroneous ideas, thoughts that I have about you, let's just let those come up and let's deal with them. Let's just let them come to the surface. I want to know who you are. And in doing that, I've just found so much of His love that I sort of stumbled into Trinitarian theology without realizing it. But I stumbled into so much of His love, I realized how much He loved me, how much He loves other people. So it's like guilt and shame, all that stuff was eradicated because I was just falling in love with God's goodness and His love for me. So that's been something I've always been passionate about in myself. It's something that Chelsea and I, that's actually, to be honest, that's like the commonality in why we got married, was that we were both after growth so much, wanted to continue our relationship with God. So thank you guys for watching this. Love you so much.